Hello. Market Meltdown inside the high stakes war between government and industry, exploring the crucial dynamics and implications of public conflicts between government and industry leaders and their resolution strategies. First of all, national reputation and investments. A public feud may damage the country's image as a stable business environment. Foreign investors may become wary, fearing politicization of economic relationships, retaliatory state actions. Retaliation via regulation or contract cancellation. The government may suspend, cancel, or scrutinize existing contracts, citing compliance or procurement concerns. Regulatory agencies might suddenly increase oversight on labor safety, taxes, and fines. The fallout disruption of strategic projects. The fallout could delay or derail projects, particularly if the CEO retaliates by withholding cooperation or stalling delivery to the government public sector. Shareholder and market impact. Public clashes with the national leader may spook investors, especially if the CEO is perceived as impulsive or politically exposed. The company's stock may decline, especially if government contracts form a significant revenue stream. Political risk and perception. The president may appear vindictive, irrational, or unstable, especially if punitive measures, investigations, regulations, public criticism are seen as personal retaliation. Business isolation. Other public sector partners or foreign governments may distance themselves from the CEO to avoid being caught in the crossfire. Rivals could use the opportunity to lobby for the CEO's displacement in strategic markets. Legal and ethical scrutiny. If favoritism had previously benefited the billionaire's company, a breakup could trigger investigations or media scrutiny, questioning whether public funds were misused based on personal relationships. Legal exposure. If the CEO retaliates, e.g., leaks, tweets, lobbying, it may trigger legal battles, especially if tied to insider knowledge of state operations or contractual obligations. The collision of power, president versus CEO. This presentation delves into a unique and complex conflict involving a nation's president and a leading CEO, highlighting their intertwined political and economic spheres. This isn't merely a business dispute, it represents a critical power struggle that resonates across global markets and impacts millions of lives. Understanding the dynamics of power struggles. Stocks plummet. When a president targets a high profile CEO, the immediate effects can be dramatic. Stock markets react swiftly, often resulting in steep declines as investors lose confidence. Companies can see their valuations plummet, affecting not just executives but also employees and stakeholders. Multi-billion-dollar projects halted. Major projects may be put on hold or cancelled altogether in the wake of public fallout. This can lead to job losses, halted innovations, and economic uncertainty that ripples through entire industries. Trust of global investors shaken. The conflict erodes trust among global investors who may pull out their investments or redirect funds elsewhere. This loss of trust can have long lasting implications for both the market and the government's credibility. The four rounds of conflict. Understanding the stages in a high stakes conflict between a president and CEO. Round one, the provocation. Round two, the escalation. Round three, the standoff. Round four, the negotiation. Round one, the provocation. The initial confrontation occurs, often triggered by a specific event or statement that escalates tensions between the president and the CEO. Round two, the escalation. Public attacks and retaliatory statements unfold, drawing media attention and creating a narrative of confrontation that grips the public's interest. Both parties dig in their heels, resulting in a stalemate where neither side is willing to back down, leading to significant market implications. As the fallout becomes untenable in round four, both sides are compelled to enter negotiations aimed at reaching a resolution to the conflict, often facilitated by intermediaries. Let's case study FDR's New Deal, a push for reform. In the 1930s, President Franklin D. Roosevelt launched the New Deal, a series of progressive reforms aimed at economic recovery during the Great Depression. This initiative included extensive government regulation and interventions in the economy, which were perceived by major industrialists as a direct threat to capitalism and their corporate interests. The economic realists, a term used by the FDR, publicly opposed these reforms, framing them as an attack on the American way of life. Economic realists. Opposition from the economic realists manifested in various forms, including public speeches, opinion pieces, and lobbying against FDR's policies. They argued that the New Deal would stifle innovation and replace and reduce the profitability of businesses, creating a divide between government objectives and private sector ambitions. This ideological clash highlighted the struggle for control over economic policy and the limits of political power in shaping the market. Case study 2, Trump versus Bezos. There was multi-front media confrontation, Trump's attacks on Amazon, criticism of the Washington Post, social media as a battleground, impact on public perception. United States government versus Huawei, a geopolitical clash. National security designation. The US government designated Huawei as a national security threat, citing concerns over espionage and data privacy risks associated with its technology. In May 2019, the US Department of Commerce added Huawei to the entity list, which restricts the company from acquiring technology from US firms without government approval. Global supply chain impact. The ban on Huawei's 5G equipment has led to significant repercussions for global supply chains and intensified tensions between US and China. Trump versus Musk, a modern feud. The conflict between Donald Trump and Elon Musk exemplifies a contemporary clash of leaders characterized by rapid escalation and public engagement. Their relationship has exhibited both significant public confrontations and unexpected collaborations, with tensions peaking over contentious political issues. In mid 2025, Musk's strong criticism of a Republican spending bill labeled a disgusting abomination, the big beautiful bill, as Trump called it, ignited further discord, showcasing the high stakes and volatility of modern political and corporate interactions. So, the escalation strategies, what are they? Use of intermediaries. Utilizing intermediaries allows both leaders to communicate through trusted neutral parties, preventing further escalation of conflicts and avoiding direct confrontations. Importance of public silence. Public silence is crucial in de-escalation. By halting public statements and communications, both parties can create a more conducive environment for negotiation behind closed doors. Identifying mutual vulnerabilities helps both sides understand what they stand to lose in the conflict, establishing a basis for constructive dialogue and incentivizing a peaceful resolution. Phase 2, containment techniques. In this phase, the primary goal is to diffuse the immediate tensions by implementing strategic measures. This includes temporarily halting any contentious projects that could exacerbate the conflict, thereby allowing for a cooling off period. Additionally, redirecting the public narrative helps shift focus from the discord to potential resolutions, fostering a more collaborative atmosphere involving third-party reviews, introduces an objective perspective which can help legitimize the process and build trust among the conflicting parties. Defining personalized roles. In this phase, the focus shifts to establishing clear, depersonalized roles for all parties involved in the conflict. This helps to minimize emotional tensions and allows for a more objective handling of the separation process. By defining these roles, both parties can approach the situation with a level of professionalism that reduces the likelihood of further disputes. Implementing global wind downs and monitoring. Gradual wind downs of existing contracts are implemented to avoid abrupt disruptions in the market. This method ensures that both sides maintain stability and can adapt to the new arrangements without causing significant harm to their operations. Additionally, a crisis committee is established to monitor the progress of this separation, ensuring compliance with the terms outlined and fostering trust throughout the transition. The art of conflict resolution, a strategic approach. In high conflicts between powerful leaders, true victory lies not in domination, but in achieving a resolution that protects the interests of all parties involved. This involves emotional intelligence, strategic patience, and a focus on sustainable outcomes, minimizing harm to the nation, the market, and the individuals in power. Market meltdown inside the high stakes war between government and industry. So that was what I had to offer today. I hope it has been informative and you have learned whether it is a dispute in the business analyst camp between the corporate interests and the government interests. This is what happens, or whether it is a cyber security company, maybe Apple, Microsoft having disputes with the federal government, Twitter, Tesla. All this affects everyone. Twitter and Tesla were part of this Trump feud, and it affected them big time in the markets. So I hope this will be good. It's not only for cybersecurity. As a business analyst, when I put on that cap, I would also present this for business analysts and those in management. It's a very good. Topic for change management as well, MBA. So when I put out something, it applies to all fields. Thank you for listening. I'll be back.